Welcome again to our Water Polo Australia Olympian series, and we've got Charles Turner, 1976, 1980, 1984 Olympian and coach of the 1992 Olympic team, 504 caps for Australia. Welcome along.
Thank you very much.
So your career, you were the dominant player here in Australia in your era. Where did you start and how much work did you do to get to the level you got in the game?
Well, I guess I started when I was very young, and that probably gave me a good head start, really. I started in England when I was about 12, and my brother and I, Michael, who ended up being a goalkeeper for a number of years in the national team, we weren't old enough to train with the squad, so we used to go down one end of the pool with a ball and a goal and just train ourselves. So we used to do that 3 times a week because we were part of a swimming club. And then we moved to Australia, to Adelaide, and that's when we really started playing water polo properly. So I guess I was about 13, 14. And we were fortunate enough to, Adelaide being small, we had a lot of opportunities to play in lots of games, and we trained with lots of teams because there was just, you could play in 2 teams, so we were doing that. So we, I guess, as a youngster, we did a lot of training, a lot of passing and shooting. So it gave us, so it certainly gave me, I think, a pretty good entree into playing at a higher level. And I was lucky enough to go to the national championships when I was 15 in Melbourne in 1968. And I guess that's what really influenced me going forward, was the reception that I received, particularly from the Victorians, who sort of took me under their wing. And people like John O'Brien and Leon Wiegard, and they were very supportive, and it really enthused me to want to be a better player and to keep playing.
So the shot behind me on the screen is from the pool in 1976 in Montreal, your first Olympics. How was that experience becoming an Olympian?
Look, it was fantastic, and it's hard to explain. The buzz that you get from just walking into the stadium at the opening ceremony is just it's just exhilarating, and playing, of course, against in those days the best teams in the world, the Hungarians, the Russians. They were very dominant teams, and just playing against them and being able to make a bit of a mark against them was a fantastic experience.
And then, of course, 1980, there was probably a bit of pressure coming from the government for Australian water polo, or for Australian teams, not to go to Moscow. And of course, the return back, the Russians didn't come in 84. So 2 unusual Olympics to the point that not all the teams were there, but you guys still went along and acquitted yourself really well.
Look, I suppose it's probably not well known, but in fact, in Montreal, 34 countries boycotted Montreal. So, but not many in the water polo. But it's certainly in Moscow. Basically, it was the Americans who didn't come. Every other team was there, and then in '84, the Russians did the same thing. So we didn't lose a lot of teams from the top 10 because of the boycott. It was complicated in going to Moscow, and the politics around trying to raise money to go to the games was difficult. We received a great deal of support from John Coates. Peter Montgomery was instrumental into getting us an opportunity to. We actually were funded by the Waterside Workers Union, who, because the federal government pulled the funds from the team, and we needed to go and qualify. We had to go to play in Sofia in Bulgaria to qualify for the games, and then came back to Australia, and then went back to Europe to train, and then to go to Moscow. So all of which cost a lot of money. And as I said, we were very fortunate. We were supported by the Waterside Workers Union, and we wouldn't have got there without them.
It wasn't long after you finished playing, you took on the coaching roles, and you coached the Australian team in '92 at the Olympics, and then '93 World Cup bronze medal. So very good results there.
Yes, the way that it happened, I retired in '85 after the Australia Games, and was lucky enough to go to the AIS and started the water polo program there. Tom Hode was the national coach, and I was the assistant coach. And I went to the 88 games with Tom as the assistant coach. So that gave me a really good opportunity to ground myself from a coaching point of view at the international level. And then, of course, Tom retired in 88, and I took on after that. 92, I thought, was a fantastic experience for the team and myself. We played in the Barcelona games. The last game we played off for 5th position, and we were playing against Hungary. And Hungary, of course, are the doyens of the sport. And, it was a very difficult task for us to having beat Hungary in that last game, which we did, and a magnificent result for Australia.
Yeah, I think that's our best Olympic finish to date, 5th at the Olympic Games. And then, as you said, 93 World Cup, you guys backed it up with a bronze medal. So you had a team really going along well at that point in time.
We did. And we had a good, I guess we developed, the AIS was a very good part of the development of that team. We had the opportunity to have a lot of players all together for a long period of time. And that really gave us a good base for developing the team for 92. We, I guess, were unlucky in many ways that that we couldn't necessarily go on from 92. We think in 96. In 95, we had a very good team. We won the Tungsten Cup, which is the top 8 teams in the world. We were looking very good for a medal in 96, but unfortunately, as history has shown, we didn't qualify for the games, and those things happen, and that's the way it went. But unfortunately, for the people that were in the team, I think we had a good enough side that we could have won a medal in 96.
You were a top player in your era, one of the top, 5 to 7 players in the world during your career. What do you make today of Aaron Younger, who's widely regarded as being one of the top 5 players in the world?
Look, I think he's an excellent player. I think that, as I said, the game's changed a lot, and he adapts very well to the way that the game's played today. And so I think that and there's a couple of others, I think, that who can really make a mark in Tokyo.
Well, Charles, thanks for having us on. A decorated career, 504 international matches for Australia, and a great contribution as a player, a coach and an administrator. And thanks for being part of our Olympian series.